Formagi YouTube video k lia oper jo tum ny story lik kdhs k oper tai men strong hook lik k do. Hook jandar. Suspenseful our curiosity si barpor hona chaye k mary vauer engage ho jn our video ko ntk deck and the missing footpath. The sun was sinking behind the tall buildings. The street was unusually quiet. Footsteps echoed as I walked, but no one else seemed to be around. A faint smell of wet earth lingered in the air. I noticed the footpath ahead was different. It appeared to end abruptly, swallowed by shadows. I stepped forward cautiously, my shoes scraping the concrete. The streetlights flickered above me. A sudden chill ran down my spine. The missing footpath seemed to stretch into nothingness. I could hear the distant hum of traffic, but it felt far away. The ground beneath my feet felt unstable. Each step I took sounded hollow. The walls of the buildings leaned closer as if to watch me. I tried to turn back, but the path behind me had vanished. Panic tightened my chest. A low, whispering sound rose from the darkness ahead. I strained to see, but the shadows swallowed all detail. Then the air grew thick and cold, pressing against my skin. Something moved just at the edge of my vision. My heart raced. The missing footpath was no longer a gap in the pavement. It was an opening into something unseen, something waiting. I could feel it drawing me forward, unable to resist. My instincts screamed to flee, but my feet continued their slow march. The shadows twisted and reached toward me, alive. I blinked, and the path seemed to shift beneath me. I was no longer walking on concrete. I was walking on emptiness. A sudden whisper echoed in my ear, close, chilling, and human. I realized I was not alone. The whisper came again, faint, almost pleading, and then sharper, demanding. I turned, but nothing was there. The darkness pressed against my eyes, heavy and suffocating. Every sense screamed danger. I tried to call out, my voice shaking, but only a faint echo returned. It was as if the sound had been swallowed. I took a careful step backward, my foot hovering over nothing. The ground seemed to sway beneath me. Shadows twisted into strange shapes, stretching like long fingers. A cold wind swept past, brushing my neck, and carrying a strange, metallic scent. I could feel a pulse in the air, slow and deliberate, as if the world itself had a heartbeat. Something moved closer. I could hear soft footsteps that did not belong to me. They mirrored my movements exactly, yet I saw no one. My breath grew rapid. I wanted to run, but my legs felt like lead. The emptiness beneath the missing footpath seemed to pull at me, a hollow tug from some deep abyss. I looked down. The ground shimmered briefly, like water, but then turned black as ink. A face appeared, reflected in the shadowy surface, twisted and unfamiliar. It grinned with sharp teeth that gleamed in the faint light. My stomach churned. I tried to step aside, but the reflection followed me. It moved with me, mocking me silently. The whisper grew louder. It became words, spoken slowly, deliberately, each syllable dripping with something ancient and cruel. "Do not leave," it said. I wanted to scream, to run, to wake up and find myself somewhere safe. But I was trapped. The footpath, the street, the buildings, everything was wrong. Even the sky above had turned an unnatural shade, neither day nor night, but something in between. I could hear the hum of the city fade into a strange silence, broken only by the whispers. They came from everywhere and nowhere. I felt the shadows crawling over my skin, not cold, not hot, but alive. The reflection in the black surface moved independently now. It raised its hand, beckoning me closer. Every instinct screamed, danger. I stumbled, almost falling into the abyss beneath the missing footpath. I caught myself at the edge, but the ground was no longer solid. It rippled like liquid, pulling at my shoes. I realized with horror that I was walking on nothing. The whispering voice rose into a chorus. It was hundreds of voices now, layered, overlapping, each one sharper than the last. "Join us," they said. I tried to step backward, but the path behind me was gone. The buildings had warped, their windows staring like eyes, their walls leaning inward. The shadows no longer clung to the edges, they filled the space around me. They twisted into grotesque shapes, reaching out, twisting, turning, stretching infinitely. A smell of decay filled the air. My head spun. I felt something brush my arm. Cold, slimy, human. I yanked it back, but it clung to me. The voices laughed, cruel and mocking, filling my ears. I could see shapes moving just beyond my vision, humanoid yet impossible. The missing footpath was no longer just missing. It had become a doorway. And something from beyond was stepping through. I could feel its presence before I could see it. Heavy, cold, and immense, it pressed down on me, bending the air and warping reality. I could not move. I could not breathe. The shadows around me began to merge, forming a single, enormous shape. Its eyes were countless, staring into me from all directions. It whispered again, the sound inside my mind now. Do not turn away. My knees buckled. I fell forward. The black surface beneath me swallowed my hands, cold and sticky. I tried to pull myself back, but it would not let go. The shadow creature leaned closer, the massive eyes staring into every thought I had. I could hear my own